People say that every guest only comes to celebrate with you on your wedding day and then leaves, and then you're left alone with your spouse to deal with your marriage. All they know is that you vowed that it's going to be for better and for worse. It is the wedding ceremony of Nosa and his bride, Wonu, as they vowed to love each other in all seasons under all circumstances till death do them part. You know the joy that comes with this. There is definitely the wedding night, honeymoon, and then marriage. It's going to be a wonderful night, you know. But something suddenly flashed in his memory as he hurriedly went to use the restroom. Nosa stayed there and didn't come out even when she kept knocking. He complained about a running tummy until she waited and slept off. Nosa could be hiding something that we are about to find out. This is a sign that there is a problem coupled with nightmares until he wakes up to find a letter. Has she left? No, just in the kitchen to make breakfast for her husband. You know the happiness that comes with newly wedded couples like the dating stage, even when they have known each other for 2 years now. He can't wait to have his newly wedded wife, so why the drama? The doorbell rang again. He had to go check even when it's becoming frustrating. It's Kunle and Chioma who were the couple's best man and maid of honor. They came with the gifts from their wedding. The friends didn't stay any further as they understood that the couples needed their space. Nosa wanted them to continue from where they stopped, but she wants him to go have breakfast while she checks the gift items. Nosa couldn't have breakfast again. He came back to the living room when the big one came. Someone sent a gift containing sex toys with pictures of him having fun with another lady. As sad as it may sound, she just found out that her husband has an addiction to BDMS. And like I said, now the wedding is over. The marriage has just begun. Nosa called the mystery woman who sent the gift to let her know that he is done with such life. This couple's new home is barely 24 hours, and dark secrets are already springing up, as it is obvious that Nosa is not only cheating, but also gets involved with BDSM. There is also something that we are yet to find out, though, which is, this couple agreed to go on a celibate relationship. This means that they wouldn't have sex until they are married. This whole idea was initiated by Wonu, and the dude has to accept it because he loves her. Wonu was very upset with him and wants him to use the toys on her, but sadly doesn't fancy the normal sex but BDSM. His addiction with the mystery woman was beginning to elude his memory, and at this point, Nosa appears like a victim of the wild kind of sex. He wouldn't try such a thing with his wife. But come to think of it, what man goes on a 2-year-long relationship without sex? Wonu was in so much anger and wanted to leave until she slumped. And it was great news. The couples are expecting a baby so quickly. But how come? He hasn't slept with his wife since they met. Now, we can see the huge disadvantage that comes with celibacy. You don't expect both partners to be faithful. The most displeasing fact here is that they were both cheating. It's obvious now that the table has turned because no man accepts a cheating wife, especially now that she is pregnant. Nosa is nowhere to be found as he angrily leaves the house. Neither Chioma nor Kunle knows where he is and also what the problem was. Should you blame a man when he goes back to where he finds comfort? Vera. Is the mystery woman behind the couple's dilemma? She knew that her playboy will always run back to her for consolation. Wonu passed the night on the couch. She woke up with expectation to see her hubby. Her husband should be back by now, but to no avail. Nosa went back to his office to pass the night after exhausting his energy on his mystery woman. His wife also wouldn't stop calling. He was supposed to be on honeymoon with his wife, but he doesn't mind resuming back to work. Chioma was beginning to suspect that their marriage was beginning to drift apart in days, and since they couples are not willing to open up for help, then she advised her friend to seek a marriage counselor. Chioma was already getting tired of their silent attitude. The only way she could help was to refer her friend to one of the best counselors she knows. Wonu thinks she is right. She met with the counselor. The counselor already saw a lot of aggravation going through her mind. Nosa now sleeps in his office. Inasmuch as he just wants to focus on his work, he also can't stop thinking about his pregnant wife for another man. Kunle wanted to let me know that he saw his wife a couple of times in the past week in one of the construction buildings they are working on. Nosa got the location of the office from Kunle and wanted to see for himself. It was true, as he saw his wife coming out from a building with another man. He immediately rushed him with heavy punches as people came to the counselor's aid. Wonu came to his office to find answers to his immaturity and clearly explained who the counselor is and how she has been seeking counsel from him. Kunle was dumbfounded when he heard that she is pregnant for another man, but the good thing is that the couple don't wash their dirty linen outside. At this point, not even Kunle or Kiyoma or even any of the guests from their wedding party could save their marriage, but only the couples themselves can. It is clear now the two lovebirds have missed their path. Yes, it's now glaring to see that their wedding was way more sweeter and fun to tell than their marriage, which is literally barely 2 weeks old. Wonu thinks that it's time she opened up on how she got pregnant. It was from her ex-boyfriend Fred. It was her 28th birthday. Nosa was out of town and her ex-boyfriend gave her an unusual gift. Fred gave her a car for her birthday. She would have the car returned because Nosa must not find out about the gift. Fred has been a thorn on her flesh since the beginning of her new relationship with Nosa. Aside that, Fred makes his money in fraudulent ways, and she wouldn't be part of it, until he pushed her and raped her on the couch. She couldn't tell her husband because he warned her to stay clear away from her ex-boyfriend, and she wouldn't ruin her wedding, which was already 2 months away. The most crazy thing was that she went to the hospital, she got checked, she also got post-exposure prophylaxis, and also her morning after pills. But yet, the baby wouldn't flush away. Now, the question is, what is she going to do about it? Nosa also thought that the counselor deserves an apology, so he came to do the right thing. The counselor also thinks that he deserves to be happy, and he is willing to help him if he wants. This is an opportunity for Nosa to get answers, so he was patient enough this time to hear what his wife had to say. Wonu also wants to know who the mystery woman is, and he went first by explaining how he got to such a mess. He met Vera via a closed WhatsApp group, and she is a kind of the only person he connected with sexually. This was because his first experience of sex was with his mother's friend at the age of 16. She was a coded dominatrix, which means that she takes the dominant role in BDSM activities, and by the time he was 20, he was already an addict and a victim to such kind of wild sex. Vera was the only girl he had seen that gave him the kind of explosives and the pleasure that he so desired until he met his wife. He loved his wife so much that he couldn't imagine his life without her. Wonu still would not accept the fact that her husband is a victim of childhood habits. This was beginning to piss him up because she is not also a saint, not until she told him that she was raped by Fred. It's okay to sympathize with a woman who was raped but with her ex, and in his apartment, who wants to believe that even when it's obvious that she went to his house. Just pray not to involve yourself in a situation where only God knows that you're telling the truth. Her best friend still believed in her friend, even though Wonu kept hiding things from her. Wonu apologized to her and never wanted to tell anyone because she wanted to forget about it. Kiyoma thinks Fred should get arrested. This is the last thing Wonu wants to think about now. Nosa wants to make things work again, but she must get rid of the child. Wonu was also scared of losing her life in the process, even though she wanted to disconnect all ties with her ex. The couples met one-on-one again. Wonu seems to be the one who wants this marriage to work again, and also happens to be the one with the most complicated situation. Nosa told her that she is keeping the child because she still has something to do with her ex. But a woman can hate you when you accuse her of cheating when she is loyal. Wonu was already contemplating a divorce since they haven't consummated their marriage, which means that the couples are yet to have sex after their marriage. This technically that since they haven't had a consensual sex after the marriage, she can say that she never got married to Nosa. What's the point if the person you love doesn't even trust you? It's obvious that Nosa isn't even ready to put up a fight when Kunle asked him if he is going to accept an annulment. Kiyoma wants her to be very sure that her friend is making the right decisions. She advised her to talk to him at least for the last time before concluding the divorce. The next day, Nosa was in his office when he got a surprising visit. It's Vera. Her presence alone scares him like an entrapped soul. You see, Self-control is simple when you understand that it involves putting yourself in the right situations to develop the right habits. But what if these habits keeps finding you? Just then, Wonu came in. She came to fight the last fight with all she has got, only to find out that the man she calls her husband is not worth it. Now what's left of this entrapped soul? Wonu couldn't imagine why her husband would stoop so low for a lady like Janet, but in most cases, when men have something to do with ladies who are of lesser quality than their wife, it was just for the fun and nothing more. Wonu wants to be left alone to think when something heavy struck her as she fell to the ground. Nosa had to rush down when he heard what happened. Minutes later, the doctor came in to tell him that she's having an ectopic pregnancy. It's really been long since she felt his touch, his tender voice and handsome looks. She really wants this guy back. Now the couple are forced to come back together and tend towards each other's need. As the bond kept growing stronger every day, love never dies a natural death. It dies because we don't know how to replenish its source. It dies of blindness and errors and betrayals. It dies of illness and wounds. It dies of weariness, of witherings, of tarnishings. You only lose the people you love when you don't understand the power of true love. At a time, she was angry, but at this time, she wants the rings back as his legally married wife. But there is still a hurdle to cross. They couples have yet to have sex, and this disturbs Wonu. She thinks that he is satisfying his sexual desires outside their marriage. Nosa was done with Vera. He called her in the presence of his wife and the counselor to prove to them that he no longer wants to have anything to do with Vera. He loves his wife and will do anything to make this marriage work again. Let me tell you what is love. What is it to be enamored in caring? Reputation, remuneration, turn distant memory. That is the first sign of love's awakening. Is this the assurance that Wonu has ever wanted? And finally, they made love after putting in the fight. Wonu confessed that this was the perfect sex she has ever had. Should we say that ladies love wild sex too? Thanks for watching. Please comment your thoughts and also like and share this video for more super amazing videos that we are bringing to you. And if you're watching from our YouTube channel, you can also subscribe and turn on your notification for more. Thank you.